So next, let's go talk about your tattoo business real fast.
Yeah, that I can talk a lot about.
Yeah.
I'm not as deep into the psychedelics as I am tattooing, but
yeah. So tattooing. So first, a lot of people don't realize you're a tattoo artist, right? Own a tattoo shop. You're also an entrepreneur, right? Can you talk about the challenge, like, doing your art stuff versus also making sure your business makes money?
That's the hardest part. I have to create art every day in order to make my business survive. I have to be creative every day. I have to be on point. You're not allowed to have a bad day as a tattoo artist. And so you're trying to take people's ideas and turn them into something and put them on there so that way they can come get tattooed, enjoy what you do, and in return I can generate revenue to pay my rent and keep my business going. I do feel like I have an amazing job because I have been fortunate enough to make my life off of making art and putting it on people. I started tattooing. I was 17 years old. So I started in 1989. So it's been a long, long time. I was in high school. I kind of a funny story going back to psychedelics. I went over to this guy's house to buy some acid. And when I went over to his house, I was about 16 years old. In his kitchen, there was a little makeshift tattoo set up. And I asked my buddy, I was like, hey, what's going on here? And he's like, oh, this guy's over here is doing tattoos. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, I just ran to the store to get something. And I, at this time, when I was about 16, I was a punk rocker. I had a mohawk. My parents were super cool about it. New Mexico. Yeah, I was living in Albuquerque. And my parents were super cool about it. But my mother, she's from New York. So when she talks like this, she's very brash. And the line in the sand for her was, I wanted my ear pierced for some dumb reason, And so every day, I'd come to and from school. I'd be taking this stupid earring in and out of my ear. My ear was all crusty and red. And my mom would be like, take that shit out of your ear. You look fucking stupid. And so when I came across the tattoo section of it, when I discovered tattooing, I was like, oh, this will really piss her off because there's no fucking way she's going to make me take off this tattoo. I felt, like Bart Simpson before there were the Simpsons, and so I was just like, sign me up. And so I got a Rocky the Flying Squirrel on my arm. And the reason why I picked that was I remember earlier that week, I was standing in like the lunch line in high school, and like one of the football players had like a Tasmanian devil with boxing gloves on tattooed on his arm. I thought it was fucking stupid. And so I was just like, well, I'll get Rocky the Flying Squirrel. It's still kind of, it's been covered up a few times, but that introduced me to tattooing. While I was sitting there getting tattooed by this guy, he had like a portfolio of his artwork. And I was like, oh shit, like, I can draw better than this guy.